up, everybody? It's your pal Gab, and welcome to another video. So last week was really cool. I got to travel all over the state of Pennsylvania. I got to do different things. I had some anti-bully shows. I had some comedy shows. And I also was the keynote speaker at 2 different mental health events. And I wanted to tell you some of the highlights of last week. Also, something insane happened during one of my kids' shows. Something that's never happened before. My mind is still blown from it. But I'm going to get to that later on in the video, so keep watching. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first cool thing I did last week was on Tuesday, I drove up to State College, Penn State area, and I was the keynote speaker at the Clubhouse Coalition conference. This was for all the Clubhouse coalitions in the state of Pennsylvania, even though it's an international organization. And I gotta tell you, if you don't know anything about Clubhouse Coalition, Google it. Pause this video and Google Clubhouse Coalition. Guys, they might be one of the coolest organizations I've ever come into contact with. Long story short, if you're someone who's been dealing with mental health issues and you've kind of had to go off the radar, like off the planet kind of to deal with yourself and figure yourself out, and now you're at that point where you're ready to kind of get back into society and find a job and all that jazz, Clubhouse Coalition is for you. You go there, you apply, you work through them. So everyone who works there are staff. So no one's a patient. Everybody has equal footing, and it's a wonderful opportunity to get back into, regular societal ideals, blah, blah, blah. But it's a really great place for people who need that next step. It's sort of like a, getting to where you need to be, and Clubhouse Coalition gets you where you need to be. There are 2 locations in Pittsburgh, but like I said, they have them all over the world. Google Clubhouse Coalition, and I guarantee you will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, well, while I was at Clubhouse Coalition, I was supposed to do a keynote speech, and then I was also going to do a workshop on, basically how I do what I do for a living. And the keynote speech, right when I was being introduced, the man who introduced me was like, "We're in for a treat. We have a stand-up comedian." So as I was getting up on the stage, I'm like, I don't know if they want my mental health motivational speech that sometimes, includes comedy, or they just want comedy. So I kind of opened up and did, the motivational, giving them the background of my story, but I made it mostly comedy heavy. And I need to say that, normally after a comedy show, people come up to me, and I swear to God, everybody's always like, "Was that real? Do you really have bipolar? Were those stories true?" And everything is true. It's all true. People don't believe the insanity that is my life. However, when I did comedy at this conference, everybody came up, and instead of being like, "Are you telling the truth?" everybody was like, "Gab, I totally relate. That's me. I can't do small talk either. I totally relate to having to exercise. I totally relate to this. I totally relate to that." And it was the first time I did comedy for people who are like me and understood it from the first person perspective. It was a joy. It was literally a joy. Thank you, Clubhouse Coalition, for giving me that experience. The craziest thing that has ever happened during one of my programs happened. I still can't wrap my brain around it. And the guilty party may or may not have left a comment on a previous video. I don't know if that was really the person. It just seems like you probably wouldn't admit it if it were you. But if that was you, OMG. Okay, here's the story. So I was doing 3 assemblies back to back to back. The 3rd assembly was for kids who were in 8th grade, but it was their last day of 8th grade. They're going to 9th grade next year. So I was, it was sort of like a celebration kind of a day. We were doing dance parties, less lessons, more fun. And one of the songs I was singing was Pharrell's Happy from Despicable Me 2, a children's movie. I thought it might be hard to get 8th graders up to dance to that song, but before I knew it, I had the stage full of kids all dancing to Pharrell's Happy. As I'm singing the song, something just falls right next to me, but I can kind of see it. At first, I thought it was a lighter, and I was like, "Oh no, who brought a lighter to school?" And then the kids in the audience, I'm looking at them, and they're all like, whispering, and I can see what they're saying it is. So I take a look at it, I'm like, "Oh no, oh no." And I don't want any of the teachers, guys, I'm a professional, I don't want them thinking it was mine. And so I'm manic, and I just blurt out, "Yo, somebody dropped their blank, not mine. I'm gonna go set it over here for after the dancing part." But I'm still in the middle of the song as I'm saying all of that. I go set it to the side of the stage. I think I set it on a piano. Within a second, a teacher just comes walking up, grabs it, and goes to the back of the room. I'm like, oh man, this poor kid. Now I'm singing the song and I'm laughing because I just can't believe this has happened. Okay, what the kid had, I don't want to say what the kid had, but what the kid had is technically illegal for that kid to have it. It's something that you have to at least be 18 years or older to have possession of. So technically, this kid had something illegal in school. Here's where my brain is like, I can't still wrap my head around all of this. Okay, when you bring it to school, that was like mistake number one. All right, but whatever, it's your last day of school. I don't know what's going through your brain. You think you can get away with it. Okay. So you bring it to school, but then you think, I'm going to bring it into this assembly. Why not? I'll bring it in. There's no chance to use it, but I'll bring it anyway. So you bring it to the assembly. That part, I'm not really sure why. Maybe you're afraid to leave it somewhere. I don't know. Then, knowing you have this illegal item, you volunteer to get up and dance in front of your whole school. Knowing you have this legal item. And you don't once at that moment be like, yo, I got to give this to one of my friends. I'm going to be up there dancing. It could fall out. That doesn't even cross your brain. It's like you forgot earlier in the morning that you did this thing that is illegal. And then you're at the show and you're like, I'm a kid again. And you jump up and you start dancing to Happy. And while you're dancing to Happy, your illegal item falls onto the stage, gets repossessed by a teacher, and suddenly things weren't happy anymore. That was the crazy. I had a kid pee in the middle of a show, and that was crazier. You win, craziest thing to ever happen at an anti-bully show presented by me ever in 7 years. You're the winner. So if that really was you, send me your address and I'll send you a free t-shirt because you deserve it, man. That was crazy, and I'm sorry. I blurted out like what it was and moved it to the side. I mean, you shouldn't have brought anything illegal to school, and I don't want to go into details, but come on, you got to worry about your health and your lungs. Okay, I'm done. I'm just not gonna mom you, but that was nutty boo. Thing that happened this week was I did another mental health talk at the Rodolph Shalom over like in the Oakland Shady Side area. Now this event was sponsored by Western Psych, my people, and I think Allegheny Health Network, and maybe one other, maybe Mercy Behavioral. I think there may have also been people from that organization as well. And so this was more of like a keynote speech, more of a motivational, like me literally telling my life story, which is very exposing for me, but I believe in telling my truth. I hopefully can help others know that this too shall pass. And even though this is something we have to deal with every day of our lives, we can deal with it, and we can do this, and we can do this. So that was what that speech was sort of more about. But I met so many amazing people. I honestly needed to get in my car and drive to the next show because I had another show in Erie. So I had a 2-hour drive ahead of me, and I was supposed to be out of there at 11. But there were so many wonderful people that wanted to talk, and I wanted to meet. So I was running a little late to get to Erie, but I still made it in time. Everything was okay. But to the amount of people that came up and talked to me, I am so sad that I didn't have stickers or business cards or anything with me. That was so wrong. So I hope you guys got all my horribly handwritten notes. And I don't know what I did with everything that was given to me that day. I lost the folder. I lost all the notes. So if you were at that event and you're watching this video now, please leave a comment, get in touch with me. Let's exchange stuff all over again. I'm so sorry. I was really manic and I needed to get out of there to get to my next gig. But oh my God, the people I met, the experiences I had, the stories that you shared with me, the lovely woman who shared her story of having more bipolar depression, whereas I have more bipolar mania. You are a lovely human being, and I hope that you see this video and you somehow can find me again. I'm so sad that I lost everything. I don't know what I did. So yeah, that was the cool thing. But Gab's an idiot and lost everything that you gave her. So please find me, leave a comment. I have been really struggling this spring. My mania was getting really bad, but my depression was also getting really bad. So I was like in a mixed state that was pretty bad. And I have to say last week was quite a turnaround for me. I really, between all the exercise I've been doing and just the amount of shows and the wonderful people that I met and both of the mental health conferences, it was beyond cathartic, and it helped me remember that when I get so low and feel that my life has no purpose, it does. And last week was the reminder that I really needed, and it's really been the kick of my butt to just take the reins back on my mental health and succeed in this life. So I've really been just feeling healthier, happier, and more content in general. So that is honestly thanks to you, to everyone that was in the shows that I mentioned last week, to everyone at both mental health conferences. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for including me. Thank you for letting me be part of the community, and getting to meet members of the community. It's rewarding for me beyond anything I can really say in a video. So I just am so thankful that I get to do this, that I get to share my story and meet so many people. And even though it's not Mental Health Awareness Month, every month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we need to break the stigma. And remember, if just because you're working on your mental health does not mean you're damaged, does not mean there's anything wrong with you, and it certainly doesn't mean you're ill. You're probably a lot healthier than most people. And the reality is, at some point in everyone's life, they're going to need to deal with their mental health. You're just ahead of the curve, okay? So we're the X-Men. Don't forget it. We're the X-Men. Guys, I want to do a food review video this week. There's these M&Ms I still need to buy, so I need to go take care of that. And yeah, I'm going to try to do more fun videos. I have a crazy sketch video I'm going to work on with some friends that I think you guys are going to love. It's ridiculous. It's so crazy. I can't even get into the deets. That's short for details. All right, I'm going to get you another video this week. That is a promise, or I will give you this brain. Otherwise, guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're living life, and I hope you remember that you also have value. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Peace.